we need to get rid of the filibuster. I'll get to that. What I think they're going to do with Zohar Mandami, honestly, I think they're going to, because these people have like 100-year plans. They don't plan like 2 years, 4 years. I think I don't know. There's a lot of organizations from outside countries here that are here to subvert us ideologically. And they partner with Marxists, Democrats, socialists. I heard a term today that Mandami was the son of a quote unquote watermelon, which is like Islam green on the outside, but Marxist red on the end. That's interesting. I think somehow they're going to find a way to normalize socialism. But at a certain age, when people actually grow up and have responsibilities, then they all understand socialism is crazy. Most of the people voting for Mandami, if they are not illegal immigrants that are still voting, people are still cheating. I know they are. All I know is it only took 1/3 of Americans during the Revolutionary War to fight. As long as we got 1/3 of people in this country that care enough to fight. I know that everybody wants to kind of take a breather because what we accomplished recently with getting Donald Trump across the finish line, but unfortunately, we got to continue to fight this. It's not over. Matter of fact, it's kind of just begun because now the Marxist socialists are motivated. Like we were during Biden. We saw what we did under Biden, man. We were like, what? During the moderate Democrat, last time they had power of what we have now, the White House, the Senate, and the Congress. Let me remind you what they wanted to do when it comes to the filibuster.
Vote for the Democrats' voting rights bill. In an op-ed published today, Manchin argues both parties are using election reform as a way to gain the upper hand. He says Republicans aim to needlessly restrict voting, while Democrats ignore the need to secure elections. Manchin still wants voting reform, but says it needs to be a bipartisan bill. Right now, the For the People Act has 0 Republican support. Democrats hope to push it through the Senate by eliminating the 60-vote filibuster, but Manchin says he's against that. He went on Fox News Sunday to defend his position.
We have 7 brave Republicans that continue to vote for what they know is right and the facts as they see them, not worrying about the political consequences. I believe there's a lot more of my Republican colleagues and friends that feel the same way. I'm just hoping they are able to rise to the occasion to defend our country and support our country.
In his op-ed, Manchin mentioned that Democrats defended the filibuster when Republicans controlled the White House and Congress. In 2017, 33 Democrats wrote a letter to then Majority Leader Mitch McConnell warning of the dangers of eliminating the filibuster.
To save the H.R. 1 Act they wanted to pass, that would have federalized our elections. It would have made, it would have outlawed voter ID in no state. No state would have had voter ID. When they were going to eliminate the filibuster, the only reason why they couldn't is because we had 2 Senate Democrats. I don't remember 2, honestly. They said Sinema was a part of this. I just remember Manchin. I remember thinking, wow, dude, Joe Manchin saved our country. Him alone saved our country. And people don't even realize that because he alone is the reason why they weren't able to do the filibuster because they could have. But because they had just him, dude, standing against them on these things, they couldn't, but they wanted to.
With us to produce that change. We will try to get them to work with us. But if not, we will put our heads together and figure out how to go, and everything is on the table.
Now President Joe Biden added fuel to the debate by saying for the first time that he supports changing the filibuster rules. In recent weeks, the House passed H.R. 1, an elections and government reform bill. The Equality Act, which enshrines legal protections for the LGBTQ community, and 2 immigration measures. One provides a path to citizenship for undocumented immigrants brought to this country as children, and another gives relief to undocumented ag workers. With the filibuster in place, most if not all of these measures will unlikely garner support from 10 Republicans and will fail. Senator James Lankford tells me it should remain unchanged.
This is a unique characteristic that's been passed down through generations to say, let's make sure every voice is heard.
I don't want to hear what James Lankford has to say. He betrayed us with that stupid border thing he tried to pull. Let's read it. Matching payments dramatically increased to 600%. A state shall not refuse to accept and process any otherwise valid blank absentee ballot. So anybody that can vote can turn in ballots. Blank ballots. candidates, including those with limited English proficiency, diverse cultural and ethnic background. That's to get money. This is all about grants, of course. They can take blank ballots. That is crazy. Wow. Okay, so you know how the Act Blue would send hundreds of thousands of dollars in small campaign donations. It's all fraudulent. It was all fraudulent, and they're tearing it apart now. We haven't heard anything lately, but right here it says the amount of payment made under this title shall be equal to 600% of the amount of qualified small dollar contributions received by the candidate, whether or not the candidate received any of the contributions before, during, or after this qualifying period. Any winning candidate for the office, the nearest 100,000. I don't know what that means, but yeah, none of this. I don't like none of it, but it's just ridiculous. Blank ballots. I didn't even know about that. No voter ID. All absentee ballots. They are going to steal our elections forever, basically.